The world of football has been struck by an unbearable tragedy. The news has rippled across continents, leaving fans, teammates, and the broader sporting community in a state of deep shock and mourning. A promising life, a brilliant career, and a newly begun chapter in love were all extinguished in the blink of an eye. Diogo Jota, the 28-year-old Portuguese forward celebrated for his passion, agility, and heart on the pitch, died in a devastating car crash in the early hours of Thursday morning. The location, Zamora, nestled in the quiet northwestern part of Spain, became the backdrop of a heartbreaking and sudden end. But Jota didn't die alone. His brother, Andres Silva, a young man with his own path and dreams, perished alongside him. They were inseparable, not just in blood but in spirit. The two were traveling together, embarking on what was supposed to be a routine journey. They were heading towards Santander, from where they planned to catch a ferry back to England. Liverpool's pre-season training was set to begin on Monday, and Jota, despite having recently undergone surgery, wanted to return in time. According to CNN Portugal, he had been advised against flying due to post-operative risks. So, despite the long hours on the road and the discomfort, he chose to drive. That one decision, seemingly careful and necessary, became a tragic turning point. Their route took them through the Rías Bajas Highway, also known as the A52, a road that many locals know for its twists and turns. The brothers had almost reached Palacios de Sanabria, moving steadily in the direction of Benavente. The night was calm, the roads dimly lit, and there seemed to be nothing particularly alarming at first glance. But shortly after midnight, at exactly 12:30 a.m., fate turned cruel. The Lamborghini they were traveling in suddenly veered off the road. The Guardia Civil, the national law enforcement in Spain, told Sky Sports News that preliminary indications suggest a tire may have burst while the vehicle was overtaking. There were no other cars involved. No other drivers to blame. No foul play suspected. It was an accident, terrible, tragic, and absolute. Powerful vehicle lost control and careened off the highway. The impact was catastrophic. The Lamborghini caught fire within seconds, flames engulfing the structure with brutal speed. Neither Jota nor Andre had a chance to escape. They died at the scene, consumed by the inferno and the sheer force of the crash. Authorities stated they are awaiting final forensic reports, but one of the deceased has already been identified as Diogo Jota, the pride of Liverpool FC in Portugal. His brother Andre Felipe has also been confirmed among the dead. Pictures from the site began to circulate online within hours, showing the shocking aftermath. Charred wreckage lined the roadside, with bits of scorched debris scattered in all directions. For anyone familiar with the sleek, powerful contours of a Lamborghini, it was a harrowing sight. What once represented speed, success, and style was now a mangled, burnt shell, symbolizing fragility, the fleeting nature of life, and how quickly it can be taken away. A Spanish government spokesperson later revealed to the PA news agency that police are investigating the incident as a possible speeding case. While the investigation continues, one thing is certain: this was not a momentary lapse. It was a terrible convergence of unfortunate timing, a mechanical failure, and perhaps a split-second miscalculation. But beyond the details, beyond the reports and forensic updates, lies a much deeper pain, one that transcends headlines. Just 10 days before the crash, Jota had married his longtime partner, Ruth Cardoso. The photos of their wedding were radiant, filled with laughter, shared glances, and promises of forever. Couple had been together through the highs and lows of Jota's career. His rise from humble beginnings in Portugal to becoming a key player for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and then moving to one of the most storied clubs in the world, Liverpool FC. Fans adored his tenacity, his ability to turn a game around, and his humble attitude despite global recognition. For Ruth, that wedding day must have been a culmination of dreams, a celebration of love and loyalty. They had weathered the storms together and were now beginning what was supposed to be there forever. Little did she know that the time they had left was not in years or decades but in mere days. The grief she must feel is unfathomable. She didn't just lose a husband, she lost her best friend, her partner, and the father of the family they dreamed of building. Jota's teammates were equally shattered. Messages began pouring in from around the world. Teammates who'd trained beside him shared victories and losses with him and seen the fire in his eyes. Jurgen Klopp, known for his close bond with his players, reportedly broke down upon hearing the news. The Liverpool family, tight-knit and loyal, felt a wound no match or championship could ever mend. Some teammates recalled the last conversations they had with Jota, how he had been excited to return, how he talked about his honeymoon plans, how he laughed just days before tragedy struck. Back in Portugal, the national team paused training to hold a moment of silence. Cristiano Ronaldo posted a heartfelt message on social media, recalling Jota's infectious spirit and the joy he brought to the locker room. He was more than a player, he was a brother in arms. Jota represented a generation of Portuguese talent that had brought pride to their nation. He had worn the national colors with grace, scored crucial goals, and played with his heart on his sleeve. André Silva, though less well known in the public eye, was no less cherished by those who knew him. He lived a life away from the spotlight but shared an unbreakable bond with his brother. Friends said they were more like twins, inseparable, always looking out for one another. André was Jota's anchor, his confidant, the one who kept him grounded amidst the chaos of fame. They had spent countless childhood hours playing football together in their neighborhood, dreaming of the future, making silent pacts to stay close no matter where life took them. That vow held true to the very end. The days following the tragedy have been a blur of mourning. Fans gathered outside Anfield to lay flowers, jerseys, and handwritten notes. Candles were lit. People hugged strangers, united by a shared sorrow that only those who've loved a player like Jota could understand. Football isn't just a game, it's a community, a lifeline for millions. When a star falls, it echoes beyond the stadiums. Seeps into homes, into conversations, into memories of goals cheered and dreams believed. But perhaps the most gut-wrenching aspect of it all is how preventable it seems in hindsight. What if he had taken a flight? What if the tire hadn't burst? What if they had waited one more day? Questions like these torture the hearts of those left behind. But they are questions with no answers. Life, in all its unpredictability, does not always offer closure. As the investigation continues, Spain's road safety authorities have quietly begun reviewing conditions along that stretch of the A52. Some locals have pointed out past accidents on that road and are urging improvements in signage, lighting, and emergency access. Perhaps some good, however small, can come from this loss: greater caution, better infrastructure, a reminder to always check what we often take for granted. For now, however, the world is left mourning the loss of two beautiful souls. Diogo Jota, the gifted forward, the devoted husband, the loyal teammate, and André Silva, the loving brother, the quiet supporter, the heart behind the spotlight. Their story ends not in triumph or celebration, but in fire, smoke, and silence. But that's not how they should be remembered. Remember Jota sprinting down the pitch, arms wide after scoring a goal, eyes gleaming with pride. Remember him lifting Ruth off her feet after their wedding kiss, his laugh echoing under the summer sun. Remember André standing beside him, always just out of the camera's frame, always there. In death, they remain together. In memory, they remain eternal. And in the hearts of those who loved them, whether from across the dinner table or from the stadium stands, they will never truly be gone.